Hey y'all, welcome to First Comes Love, Then Comes Marriage podcast. My name is Lindsay Jackson.
And I'm Aaron Jackson.
Ooh, you got a frog?
No, I actually feel great.
Okay. And season 5, we're doing cliches and
Yep,
realness.
yep, yep.
So, the cliche of the day is absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Yes.
I heard this one all the time when we were younger. So, for those of you who do not know, we've been together. Sometimes I say like all our lives. Sometimes I say high school sweetheart.
Childhood sweethearts?
Childhood sweethearts, right? Exactly. But we have been together for going on 22 years.
Wow.
That's
Okay.
big. That's big. Okay.
That is.
Going on 10 years married. And when we were younger, living in California, teenagers, and I moved away to go to college, all I heard was absence makes the heart grow fonder. It's going to be fine. It's going to be absence makes the heart grow fonder. And he's going to miss me so much that his heart's going to swell and, all those things. Mm-hmm. So we'll circle back to that. Your takeaway. What you got?
It's interesting because I was thinking more recently when I was in California doing construction and you were in New York. And that's while we were while we were married.
Yes.
So
that did not.
I thought that would be the point of like separation, where it's like absent makes the heart go fonder. Like that's a more relevant to like people being married and situations that happen. Like high school is one thing, but like this was real deal, kids and everything.
So then, yeah, you're talking about dating versus married. So does absence work dating, and does it work married? How is it different? And that is good, because dating, I feel like, yeah, I was just missing you more and more. And married, I was like, oh no, you just need to get here. Like, we don't need this. We don't need to be distant. We don't need to be apart.
So it wasn't like you weren't missing me.
I did not want to miss you. I guess when we were dating, I could miss you, and it was okay. When we were married, I didn't want to miss you. It didn't make any sense why we were not together. So, but this is a really interesting topic for me, because my love language is time together. And I saw something recently that was like, love languages are ruining marriages. Psh, you still have to have awareness, okay? So my love language is time together. And with me understanding that and you knowing that, absence, when we are absent from each other physically, it doesn't make my heart like, it doesn't make me like feel good. It is something missing. And so I know this to be true. I could never have a relationship where we were living separately, where if you had a job that took you away or I had a job that took me away and we kind of lived that life. No. That would not be for me. One of our families, right, friends into family, her husband works away for quite an extent of days at a time. Couldn't be me. Could not be me. I feel like I would miss you too much. And especially with our young kids, I don't think that would work for me.
Okay. So my take on the whole cliche is that the absence part is like, as long as there is nothing filling in that void, then you're going to miss whatever is missing. Basically, you're going to miss whatever is missing, so you're going to want it more. So if I had a phone call, or like I got a goodbye kiss from you every time I left for work and you went away, I don't have anybody else to fulfill that goodbye kiss, so it's going to make me miss you. But if I substituted that goodbye kiss with like, oh, every time I leave the house, I do 5 push-ups or something like that, and I kind of change whatever that thing was, I think I won't miss it as much, or I won't miss it because I filled it in. Yeah. So it's kind of like, if somebody's like absence makes the heart go fonder, if I'm missing my wife and I'm missing the duties that a wife does, Yes, but if I have other things fulfilling that, or like if my time is consumed, then so like if I left and you were like, I need help with the kids. I need somebody take the kids to school every day. I need somebody to do the laundry. I need somebody to cook for the boys.
Mm-hmm.
And then you hire babysitters and stuff like that, and you weren't super busy. How much would you?
And he's thinking, I won't miss you as much because
Yeah,
you filled it in. Nah.
yeah, because it's like a need thing. It's a dependency. It's like if I don't need you anymore, if I'm not missing, if something is not absent from me, like what is the importance of you? Basically, like what's your purpose? Uh, and it's weird because like a human being, like a wife or a husband, has so many different facets, so many areas that they touch that you probably can't get all of it fulfilled. I'm just talking about like simple like dating stuff and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah, I will miss you for a period of time. But if I do get that filled in, if it's attention or somebody to play with or somebody to do that, then I feel like it won't expand my infatuation or my need for it. It's just like with sugar. Like when you stop having sugar, you start craving sugar. And so like when somebody leaves or is away for a trip and stuff like that, you start craving that.
You miss them.
Yeah.
But see, when you said that, I said, well, that's not necessarily true because when I go off of sugar, I want it until it finally like maybe gets out of my bloodstream, and then I don't want it anymore. And so now I'm okay with not having it. I don't miss it. It's kind of like that whole it takes 21 days to break a habit, you know? So if I go and I'm like, man, I really want some chocolate, I want some chocolate, I want some chocolate, and then all of a sudden it's fine. And I'm like, okay, 2 weeks later, I don't need chocolate. It's not until I taste it again that I think I want it again. So same thing, not the same thing with relationships though. Just because you're away for 3 days, a week, I'm not like, oh, I done got used to him being away. No. I'm gonna miss you. It's actually for me, the longer you've been away, I miss you more and more and more and more.
No, because I think the longer I don't agree with that. I think the longer that you are away from somebody, the easier it is.
It is. It depends on the person. I will say that
another cliche.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Out of sight, out of mind.
It's like coworkers. Like now that I'm no longer working, we will see who continues to be in my life.
Yes.
Who continues the texting or the calling or the checking in aside from social media. Social media, like we said, gave you that false sense of community. Like, oh, we see her, so we know what she's up to. But yeah, out of sight, out of mind. With some people, not with a close relationship. If you go away, I'm not.
All right. So how long is absence? You get what I'm saying? Yeah, 2 or 3 days, and you know I'm coming back. That's one thing.
Right.
After a while, there's been plenty of instances. It happens so many times that now it is actually another cliche of when like guys go out to war and women marry somebody who's in town, or they have a relationship and the guy comes back and he's in his uniform, and it's like the most heartbreaking thing because it's like you were fighting for your country and this lady is with this guy.
She had to fill the void, if
yeah.
you will. Yes, same thing. I mean, you could do that with just short instances like the phrase work husband or work wife. It's like you are at work for the majority of the day. And you think about this. I think about this with even our kids. They're at school for that long period of time. So they're filling in that void. That's why sometimes Action will call me Miss Kelly. Because it's like, well, this is the woman that I see all day, every day.
Yeah.
And so I have a work husband. I don't have one. You have a work wife. I don't
have one.
But you're kind of filling in that void because you're away. You're absent for that period of time. And so that you don't miss your wife or he doesn't miss his mother, he's filling in that void. I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't think that that's appropriate.
Okay, what if there was a scenario where you are missing something from me that I could provide and I don't do it because of the cliche. Like I want you to want it more. Like if it was like, I don't know, let's keep it PG, right? I'll be like, okay, Lindsay loves kisses. Let me not kiss her for a while so she could really, really want kisses. And then at my disposal, like a weekend, I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna plant a good one on her. You know what I mean? Do you think it works? The cliche works in that sense at a smaller scale,
right?
Of, you know, oh, Aaron wants me to cook for him. I'm not gonna cook for him. And then when it comes to like his birthday or Father's Day or something like that,
right,
I'm gonna throw him. Yeah, I'm gonna throw down something.
And then,
that way,
okay, so no, I personally don't think that, because I think that the more you get something, the more you want it. Like with action, he if you give him ice cream, he's just gonna want it again and again and again and again. It doesn't matter if he went a whole month without it. The moment he has it again, he's gonna want it the very next day again. He's gonna ask for it. So it's like, okay, you're not giving me kisses, so you think, oh, okay, now I'm gonna give her a kiss, and what's your purpose?
To really make you happy for that one time. It's like a treat. It's like, how do you, like, this is the treat that you have, because, like they say, because, like, with long distance, I feel like long distance can work.
Long distance can work. I think long distance should not be at the beginning of a relationship, but long distance can definitely work. We've seen that. We are a testament to that. We were long distance twice, right? When I was in New York for schooling, that was 3 years. And then when I was in Philly, that was at least 2 years. And we made it work. But we already had the foundation. We already went on many dates and had many fights and had many laughters and had time together, sealed time together in each other's embraces. So and then we went long distance. So yeah, that can work. I didn't like it, but it can work. I don't think it would work if you started a relationship off of long distance, because yeah, like you said, you're replacing whatever it is that you're missing with someone else. And so if you have a rule about cheating or how far it goes, if you're replacing, you're missing me, you're replacing that touch with whoever is next to you. It could be your platonic friend, and y'all sitting on the couch watching the same show.
She laughs and hits your knee,
whatever.
Like that,
and then you get on the phone and you call your boo, but it's still not. That gets murky. So I don't know. Long distance, yes, long distance can work, but only if you have the foundation.
So it can't. You don't think it works off jump? But it can work if you have a foundation.
Yeah. I mean, and you know what's crazy is we know someone and that started off in long distance and she's now engaged. They have been dating less than a year, but we're talking about adults. We're talking about adults that have
and also
income.
with the pandemic and with like all the technology, all the flights and stuff like that,
you
can
can't replace physical touch.
You can.
You cannot.
Especially if you don't need it.
Like, okay, if you're a person that doesn't need it, if you're two people, not just one, if you are two people that don't need physical touch, then it can work.
And also, like, you were talking about your love language, and I was thinking about love language, and what was the quote, like, it destroyed marriages or something like?
Yes, they say love languages are destroying marriage, and I was like, whoa, for real?
See, because I think that sometimes with love languages, they use it as an excuse.
That's what they're saying. They're saying you're putting people in a box, and you're saying, if you don't love me this way, if you don't do it exactly this way, then you don't love me. And then it turns into this spiral of, okay, you know what? He doesn't really love me. Now we need to go to therapy. Now we need to divorce. And that's what it's kind of saying, which is not necessarily true. Understanding love language is just understanding how you would prefer or what you really gravitate to.
Yeah, but if I'm in a situation where your love language is you want time together and we've been in a relationship, and then a situation comes up where we need to be separated because of circumstances. I know I keep going back to it, but the pandemic changed everything. And so, like, I need to go away. I might get a job in Dubai for 5 months, 6 months like that. That's making a plethora of money that's going to pay for private schools for Action, Shine, Live type of situation.
Yeah.
There is a point where it's kind of like, yeah, you do have your love language. You should know that I love you, and two, be big girl mature enough to be like, oh, okay, like this is how it goes. Just like if my love language is like gift giving, and
no, it's not.
I'm giving an example.
Okay.
And I don't get any gifts for a certain amount of time because we're like we gotta reel it in.
Yes.
I shouldn't be sitting there complaining and
you don't love me. I don't feel. I don't.
Yeah, you don't love me. Da da da. It's kind of like, yeah, you do have your love language, but we are adults and we do have real life situations going on.
But I am setting, and that's true. But I will say that I'm setting it up as if that's the case. And of course, life happens. So we are under the understanding that life happens. The caveat is still, okay, I understand that this is how you like to be loved, regardless of if I'm on a budget, regardless of if you have to take a job. So how do we press forward for the 6 months that you're away? How do we press forward that the year we're on a tight budget? How do we make concessions and so that you still feel love? Without having the conversation, it doesn't just go away. It's not like, okay, I really like to eat this, but you know what? We're not gonna eat, so the conversation never happened, and now you starving.
Yes, it wouldn't be as extreme as not eating, but it will be extreme as like, yo, you can't have the risotto. You can have rice though. Like
we're saying the same thing with the understanding that it goes back to communication, because it's like, how are we going to make it these 6 months? Okay, well, this is what I'm going to do for you. We're going to set up a time every day at 7 p.m. We're going to do this.
But then life happens again. You know what I mean? Because
life can happen for a short period of time.
Yeah.
It cannot continue to happen for the extended period of time without a plan. Not without a plan. Your mom is sick. You got to go home. Boom. There has to be a plan. You can't just leave me and the kids without a plan, regardless of life happening over there. Yeah. I can be as understanding as I want. Okay, he has to go home to tend for his mother. That doesn't mean you can disregard what's happening over here. We have to have a conversation for how we're going to make it work.
Welcome to the Am I Wrong segment of First Comes Love, Then Comes Marriage podcast. This is the part of the show where I give you a situation and you let me know if Lindsay is wrong and I'm wrong. So last couple of nights, it's been some instances where I am actually at home and up at night. Those are rare. It's rare. Like, I am up, I am engaged, and Lindsay has been getting home. She does her regular routine. But her routine has now become like eating cereal or whatever she needs to eat to replenish, and then watching Netflix on like on her phone. But it's like, we have a projector in the house. I don't know if you know, we have a projector in the house, and I'm there. And like, we have shows we could be watching, but like, she watches like a little, she'll be sitting down watching like with her head down, looking like totally isolated on the couch and sitting next to me, watching Netflix or watching whatever she's watching on her phone. Or if she's in bed, she'll be eating and then she'll watch it in the bed. But like, we have a projector, and like, I just feel like when I'm here and I'm available, she should not exclude me from the camaraderie, because there's not a lot of time that we get to spend together. So, am I wrong? Should she change up her routine when I am there and available? Maybe we could watch something together.
This is a very good point that I'm glad you're bringing up, but I will mention two things. Number one, I am newly retired from work, so it is a transition, if you will, for me to be home in the evening at the same time as you. That's number one. So give me a little space, because usually when I come home at 11:30 at night, he's either asleep.
I already said that.
Okay.
You can't repeat what I said. Okay.
Or that is my wind down time. Like at midnight, that is literally how I come home and wind down from the day, just the same as somebody who works at 9 to 5. So this is different. I can come home and it's like 8 p.m. and he's actually awake. So, okay, give me a little space and time. But also, he's on his phone too, one. And two, he stays awake. I kid you not, y'all. I would say 8 to 11 minutes. I could time it. And if I could time it and show you all, he would not be awake for an entire episode.
If she was engaging with me, she wouldn't know that because she hasn't been engaging with me. Also, like people with 9 to 5, they come home, especially when they have kids. They have to come home and they don't have time to wind down. Like myself, I don't have time to wind down when I come home from work.
You do because we got a babysitter.
No, that is cap. You do not know what happens once I get home because the babysitters are great.
Because we got 2 babysitters.
Are great, but I have to work. I have to start my second shift. So. Let me know if Lindsay should include me in her routine when I'm available. You could let us know on the YouTube comments at First Comes Love.
Yes, or you can DM us on Instagram or TikTok, First Comes Love TCM, or you can email us. Let's talk at firstcomesLove, thenComesMarriage.com. Welcome back. So, absence makes the heart grow fonder. We kind of circled around the bend to, does long distance relationship work, or does it actually make your heart grow fonder for whatever it is that you're missing? Do you want it more? Is it helpful to want it more? All of these things.
Yeah.
And I think the cliche is true. I will say that. The cliche is true. Whether I'm fasting, whether you're missing, whatever it is, if you go without something that you like, not something that's toxic, something that you like, it does make you want it more. And then once you have it, you're like, yes, okay. So I do agree with it. I don't think it's something that I want to experience in a relationship. It's not like, okay, this is a healthy thing, like kind of like a cleanse, how you can cleanse and like that's healthy. I don't think that it would be healthy for our relationship for us to try missing things that are important for us. But that's my take.
Well, it's kind of weird because like I believe that the cliche is true, yes, but then sometimes I think like it's helpful in a relationship.
Really?
So it's like sometimes I am with you so much.
Where? Never.
I'm just. Flow with me.
Okay, go ahead. Let me listen.
You're with somebody in a room. You're with somebody every day. It gets monotonous. It gets very routine. Oh, it's like wake up, kiss the wife, kiss the babies, walk the dog, go to work, come back, go to sleep, wake up, kiss the baby, kiss the wife, walk the dog, go to work. And so it gets to a routine where it's just kind of like you get into, if we're doing colors, you get into gray. And so it's like sometimes you might need somebody to like, hey, go away.
And you want to keep it spicy.
In the nicest of ways. Yes. But it's like, it's like, oh, let's break it up a little bit. Let me be to that. Let me go on a trip or something. Let me want to want you. Let me want to woo you. Let me like do things that are off the routine, and I feel like that's going to be very helpful in relationships. So I don't think that I know the feeling of I in a relationship I always want to have what I want.
Yes,
but I don't think that is so healthy because truthfully, like feelings and sometimes like feelings don't really like logically. They're not really helpful when it comes to like overall health, mental health, or something like that. Like sometimes you just want to do things. Like when you're sad, you want to do things when you're sad. When you're mad, you want to do things when you're mad. And your brain has to kind of fight these feelings. And if we're just going off of like, I feel like I want this and I feel like I need this all the time and I need to get what I want.
Yeah.
The brain needs to be like, hey, no, you can't be having this all. There is a point of like sometimes too much is the problem. Sometimes too much is unhealthy, and that's why you do need to break it off or like have some distance. We don't have to. I could count, and this might be TMI, but I could count on my fingers a time how many times we went 7 for 7 when it came to like being intimate in our marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Like in 7 for 7 to 7 days in a week and just go like every day, boom, 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 boom. And I know for a fact we never did 14 for 14 because that would be crazy.
Yes,
that would be crazy.
That's not even healthy. I mean, as a woman, it's not healthy.
So yeah, you do need to break things up, and sometimes you do need to. I'm not saying like abstain from sex for months and stuff like that.
No, I know
like,
exactly what you're saying, and it does make sense. That's why you have the fast or the cleanse or the whatever the break is. And so when you put it in that perspective, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it's not too much and not too long. There is a great thing about space and time. So yes, giving each other space so that I can be a person, or I can find myself, or I can reflect, and then coming back together. Absolutely. When I hear absence makes the heart grow fonder, I immediately thought to long distance for long periods of time, but it doesn't have to be that.
No.
So I agree with you.
No, yeah. Because I always think about like sometimes just like, remember, I think it was a couple of Father's Days ago. He was like, "What do you want?" I was like, "I just want to go away."
That was not a couple. That was many. That was your very first Father's Day. And
just get me out.
And you got away.
But I told you I didn't really like that one.
You didn't like it
because I missed y'all, and I was like, "Oh, what are y'all thinking about?" I think now that I kind of know what to do. Like the first half of that Father's Day, I was kind of like, "Oh, I wonder what everybody's doing."
Right.
Like I didn't really have a game plan. I think now it would be a little bit better, but yeah,
absolutely. But that was 1 kid versus 3.
Yeah, and so I feel like 1, you can have long distance, but if you have a plan. I think 2, you can miss somebody, but also you can control how much you miss that person. If you go into it trying to be like, oh, I'm really gonna miss this person, I'm really dependent, how dare they go away from me? Mm-hmm. Then you're sorry, you're the problem.
No, you're setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, you have a plan. Whenever we've been apart, I have dove into something else that was my focus. So like you say, I have replaced you with the dance, replaced you with school, replaced my missing you, if you will. So that, I'm not gonna just sit on the couch and be like, I miss him, woe is me, and then we end up breaking up.
Yeah, because you're gonna be calling, so when you gonna come back in?
Answering.
Yeah, no, I'm busy,
see?
blah, blah, blah.
It's over.
Yeah, you're just making yourself more upset and more upset like that.
Yes.
I think we had an Am I Wrong a lot, like our first season. When like if I didn't answer the phone, you would call like 15, 17 times.
Back to back to back to
back.
If I call you back to back, you better answer.
Yeah, but like sometimes you call and you don't leave a voicemail, and I'm like, okay. And so, but what I'm saying is like, don't do it to yourself. Don't be the person who misses somebody so much that it's getting debilitating to you.
Yes.
Be the person who's like, okay, what am I missing about this person? Am I missing the connection? Am I missing the ear to listen? Am I missing? And try to see if you could get it from somewhere else, or if you can't get it from I'm not telling people to go out and cheat, but like, be productive. You know what I mean? Don't just like sit there and mope. Yeah.
All right, y'all. So tell us what you think. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. Long distance relationships, do they work? Don't they work? How do they work? Okay. DM us, Instagram, TikTok, First Comes Love, TCM.
You can always leave a comment. Make sure you comment and subscribe. Tell a friend on our YouTube at First Comes Love.
And share. And email us. Let's talk at firstcomeslove, thenComesMarriage.com.
Talk to you Tuesday.